This is an ABP Life podcast.
It was probably 15th March 2020. I had returned from college to my hostel, my PG basically. I was laying on my bed, watching Friends on Netflix. Suddenly, we got a message in the college group. It was a notice from the college administration. The notice stated that due to the rise of COVID infections around the country, Delhi University will close its colleges for 5 days. The moment my roommates and I read that message, we smiled at each other. In the next 5 minutes, me and my roommates planned what we're going to do for the next 5 days. Go to Lajpat Nagar and enjoy Dolma Auntie's momos. Go to Sia Park and enjoy some Bengali sweets. Go to Murthal to taste some parathas and what not. But we made a mistake. We forwarded that message to our parents. And by night, our parents called us and ordered us to get back home as soon as possible. We tried saving ourselves. We justified that it's just 4 or 5 COVID cases in the country right now. What's gonna happen? What's the worst that can happen? But our parents were hell-bent on getting us home. And just like that, our plans went in the drains. We packed our bags and went home. All of us had to return home. My roommates in Bihar, Rajasthan, me in Kolkata. Within just 5 days of returning home, the lockdown was announced. I used to watch on ABP News that daily wage laborers from all around the country were stuck with their families. They couldn't return home because no train, no bus, no car whatsoever was running on the roads. These people had to walk 700, 800 kilometers to return home. Those were really tough days for everyone. But thank goodness, those days are in the past. Those days are behind us now. We overcame COVID this year, right? That's what I think. But, with this current situation in China right now, those days of 2020 feels like they are upon us. Is it really? So the Indian government said on Wednesday that the strain responsible for the recent surge in COVID-19 cases in China is called BF.7, an Omicron subvariant. BF.7 is highly transmissible. It is derived from the BA.5 subvariant and is the short term for BA.5, .2, .1, .7. What a terrible name. Now, according to media reports, 4 cases of BF.7 have been detected in India so far. The Gujarat Biotechnology Research Center detected the first case of BF.7 in India in October this year. The sources said that so far 2 cases have been reported from Gujarat, while 1 case has been reported from Odisha. So now you all might be thinking that what is this new BF.7 COVID variant? How dangerous is this? Are we going to see new set of lockdowns, new set of rules, quarantine rules again? Well, don't worry. I'll decode all of this for you today. So welcome to Clear Cut, only on ABP Live podcast. This is your newsman Rudrashish, and today let's talk about the new BF.7 COVID variant. So let's get started. Alright. So Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya held an emergency meeting to review the situation of COVID-19 in India. He said that while there is no overall increase in COVID-19 cases currently, continued surveillance is necessary to keep track of existing and emerging variants. He also said that random sampling of international travelers has started at airports. But should we be worried about it? So what exactly is this BF.7 variant? Now, BF.7 is the main Omicron subvariant spreading in Beijing and is responsible for the surge in COVID-19 cases in several Chinese cities. Experts believe that the high transmissibility of BF.7 in China might be attributed to a low level of immunity in the Chinese population from the previous infection and possibly vaccination too. A sublineage of the Omicron variant BA.5, BF.7 has the strongest infection ability because it is highly transmissible, has a higher capacity to reinfect vaccinated people, and a shorter incubation period. Other countries in which BF.7 has been detected include the United States, the United Kingdom, and European nations such as Belgium, Germany, France, and Denmark. BF.7 is believed to have a basic reproduction number of 10 to 18.6, meaning that a person infected with this variant will transmit the virus to an average of 10 to 18.6 other people. Now, since BF.7 has a high transmission rate, the number of COVID-19 cases in China are increasing at a fast pace, making it difficult to control the situation. Now, what kind of symptoms does BF.7 lead to? Now, infection with BF.7 will result in symptoms similar to other Omicron variants, which includes fever, fatigue, and upper respiratory symptoms such as cough, sore throat, and runny nose. In some cases, people may experience gastrointestinal symptoms like vomiting and diarrhea. Those with weaker immune systems might suffer from severe illness when infected with BF.7. Now, what led to the creation of BF.7 variant? How did COVID mutate to become a new COVID variant? Now, a specific mutation called R3460 in the spike protein of SARS-CoV-2 resulted in the creation of BF.7. This mutation is also seen in BF.7's parent variant, BA.5, and has been found to be associated with enhancing the capacity of SARS-CoV-2 to escape neutralizing antibodies generated by vaccines or previous infections with COVID-19. According to a study published in the journal Cell Host and Microbe in November this year, BF.7 has enhanced neutralization resistance. The study examined the neutralization of BF.7 in the sera of triple vaccinated healthcare workers and patients infected during the Omicron BA.1 and BA.5 waves of the COVID-19 pandemic. Sera is the liquid portion of blood after proteins and clotting factors have been removed. The N460K mutation is the most critical factor behind the enhanced neutralization resistance of BF.7. Despite the immune evasive characteristics of BF.7 and worrying signs about its growth in China, the Omicron subvariant appears to be remaining fairly steady in other regions of the world. For instance, in the US, BF.7 is estimated to account for 5.7% of infections up to December 10. Now, what has the UK Health Security Agency said about BF.7? In a technical briefing published on October 7, 2022, the UK Health Security Agency identified BF.7 as one of the most concerning variants in terms of growth and neutralization data. As of October 4, 9,809 sequences of BF.7 were identified. With 1,752 sequences, Belgium represented the highest number of samples of BF.7. In the UK, 663 sequences of BF.7 were detected, according to the technical briefing. The low level of immunity in the Chinese population from previous infection and possibly vaccination might be one of the main reasons behind the high RO and BF.7 in China. So now you people might be wondering, I'm fully vaccinated. I've taken 2 doses of COVID vaccine, 1 booster dose. Why should I be worried? And then again, some of you might be thinking, should I take my masks and sanitizers out again? Well, to answer all of your questions, we have Dr. Neha Rastogi joining us on the show today, who heads the Infectious Disease Department at Fortis Hospital, Gurgaon. So welcome to Clearcut, Dr. Rastogi. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Hi, hello everyone.
So Dr. Rastogi, BF.7, a new concern during the New Year's. Everyone's panicking again. What should we do? What should not be done? Can you speak further on this? Can you just share your thought about what is this new variant and how dangerous is this?
China has just recently got, and even we have started seeing the surge of cases even in US, and daily we have started seeing the numbers again, which once we have forgotten for a while. So the idea is that this is also one of the subvariants of an Omicron, first of all. So BA.1257 is actually the full name. So BA.5.7 is actually a acronym of that. So it's a Omicron variant, BA.1 and BA.2, which was there in 2022 beginning. It's like a hybrid version of both two.
Okay.
Now, why we are more concerned and all, first of all, through your platform, thank you for calling me, I want to tell the people, please don't panic. Okay. It's a matter of concern for sure. It's a variant of concern. It's a variant for an alert. but definitely it's not a variant called panic. So why? Because we still don't have enough data to tell you about the severity of the thing. Why we need to be alert and keep our guards on is because its infectiousness rate is actually 10 times higher as that of the previous Omicron variant. For example, at a given point of time, it can affect the 10 people at the same go. So that way, the spread rate is quite higher. Second, the period of the disease occurrence or a symptom occurrence is relatively lower in this variant. Third, the concern is that the efficacy of a vaccine. So, as the reported data, the efficacy of the vaccine for this variant is relatively lower, which means that we need again the boosting dose of our existing vaccines, because over a period of time, the vaccine effect goes down. So, we need more boosters and we need the more vaccines, different type of vaccines to take care of this kind of virus. Having said that, the severity part is relatively not very certainly answered. So right now, no need of panic, but definitely we need to really step up our guards again start doing all our COVID appropriate behavior which we used to do. Put your masks on, put your hand sanitizers on, do vaccinate yourself, do get a booster, because so that your severity reduces maximally. And that's all about the BF.7.
Okay. Now, there has been questions that since the Chinese population had been fully vaccinated, but still they're falling for this BF.7 variant. So, why is this happening there? And since the people in India have also been fully vaccinated, most of the people have even taken their booster dose. So, can they be secure about this, that since we are fully vaccinated, we don't have to bother about this that much?
So I tell you, so I've already just mentioned about it. So two things we need to understand about all the COVID vaccines and the variants. First of all, with this particular variant, if I talk about, like I said, one of the concerning factors for this variant is the immune evasion. Means it is escaping the existing immune mechanism created by my vaccines. So that means or that infers that existing vaccines are not probably fully enough for this virus. Having said that, it's always a dictum in a COVID, I would tell, that putting a vaccine does not make you free of infection. You still can have an infection. So putting a vaccine does not mean you are free from infection. Putting a vaccine, the main purpose is to reduce the severity of an infection. So for example, putting a mask on, hand sanitizer, social distancing, this will reduce the infection. But taking a vaccine will make me sure that my risk of landing up into the hospital reduces to almost 85 to 90% if I take a vaccine. So these two things have to be cleared in mind.
Now, since it's the year-end time, it's New Year, Christmas is coming up, people are going to go out, people are going to have fun. So do you have any tips to take that everyone should follow during this festive season?
See, I would suggest, that as far as these celebrations are considered, since we are entering into the new year, please follow your new normalcy of life also. And these days, after a post-COVID era, or I should say rather a new peri-COVID era, the new normal life is with this mask and hand sanitizer. So please have your safe, peaceful celebrations with these. Second thing, if at all you have these days any kind of symptoms pertaining to, which are very common flu-related symptoms, because it's a season change as well. And if you have nearby people who are at the high risk or elderly, try to quarantine yourself. That's all I want to say.
And lastly, I want to ask you, do you see a world emergency with this BF.7 variant again?
So like I said, that the rate of infectiousness is too high. And since we have again started our traveling, our tourism and everything to a larger extent, the screening strategy, the surveillance strategy has to be 10 times higher. As the infectiousness increases, your surveillance strategy has to be increased. So like I said, that it's not a panic, but definitely it's a matter of being alert and keep your guards again on.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Rastogi, for joining us on the show today. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's all the news and scoops I have for you today. This episode was produced by Lalit. This is your newsman Rudrashish Kanjilal signing off. Have a wonderful day ahead and keep listening to ABP Live podcasts.
This is an ABP Live podcast.